evening. How are you today?
Hi, Sonia. I'm good. As usual.
How's the weather? How's the weather at your end today? It's rainy and gloomy here. How's the weather at your side?
Pouring since I think 5-6 o'clock in my area.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as usual. We're working from home.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to go out. For sure. Yeah, and yes, I really need to go out and social and meet friends and have proper coffee. I've been drinking coffee at home. Yeah, no chit chat and updating what's happening out. Despite yes, we have all these internets and all this, but nevertheless, nothing comes real when you meet someone. So I miss that quite a lot. But let's wait, all settle down, and then we are ready to be free.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Anna, we are so fortunate to have you with us tonight. Anna Teoh, the Musang Queen of Malaysia. I think the title, the Musang Queen of Malaysia, is a very appropriate one for you because you are the largest exporter of durians for Malaysia, I think, time. And it is indeed a privilege to have you with us. Maybe before we get really going into the other details, and let's just get to know who you really are. Who is Anna Teoh? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I think at this moment, I'm just an entrepreneur that, I do something that deal with the thorny fruits. Everybody know durian, where this is what I have been doing for the past 16 years. Yeah. So yes, people who knows me, that they know that I have been in this industry as a pioneer to lead the durian export to international markets. And of course, with my background, most of them who know me, actually, I was a flying airline crew. So yes, I would say to come to this stage of the title given by not myself, but actually from the Star, the paper, when they came and interviewed me, and they given me this title, also from my acknowledged through many of these industry players, where I'm the only females that run this business. Of course, more coming up, but I was in the lead so far with the in the market for the female side, and of course. It doesn't come so easy, but anyway, I just accept the title as just a name where people, how they address me with maybe the profession I'm in. So it's just that it's so easy that I just accept this. Some people call me Musang Queen, some call me Durian Queen, but actually they're all referring to durian. So it's actually, I call it as a type of actually acknowledgement from the industry, and perhaps I use this as a platform or a marketing way to come out to actually to speak, because I want people to know that from the professions that I was in, and you want to buy my products of durian, immediately you can link myself to the products or the durian that I'm producing. Yeah.
So the durians that you currently market, a lot of people say, I want to eat Musang King by Anna Teoh. Unfortunately, or as far as I know, currently the durians that you have at this moment is not meant for the Malaysian market, and most of it is exported. Am I right to say that, or is that changing?
Well, Sonia, when I started selling durian, it was the time where throwback in like 2004, where the locals are they're indulging their durian at the roadside or through their reliable suppliers. So what am I here freezing the durian and sell to locals, where the market is not there for me? But I see there's opportunity out there in the outside world, especially those migrants from Malaysia, Singapore, or Indonesia, in abroad, that they have the crave. I can tell you the kind of crave that they have is much more than those that during before the season we have that crave. So I see the market. So at the time, yes, reverse. I don't build the market locally, but instead I do my export market when I start doing the business. And that time, I faced a lot of challenge. A lot of people discouraged, and in fact, they were looking at the time when I'm going to fall. When is the day that I will tutup kedai, close down the business? Yes, initially the first 2 years was quite tough. Yeah, I created the products. The acceptance are not widely accepted at the time because our durian prices, it was expensive at the time. Nevertheless, it's still expensive to today. Yeah, so what I can do is the time I was very focused, right? Even a lot of people ask me, Anna, why you do only durian? Why not watermelon? Why not this and not that? So I was very determined that durian is really, they will definitely have a market, if we really build it, because Malaysia is the only ground that can produce this special clone, which is called Musang King, right? Even you want to take the seed and you want to plant in what they're calling Hainan Tao in China, there will be a challenge because the climate, the soil, all these issues may not give them the same crops as what we have in Malaysia. But the same seed of watermelon, you go and plant it in Japan and in China or Taiwan, I tell you, they grow better than us. So in business, I always think that we need to be very determined and very focused, and don't change or give up, or keep having the change. Oh, today I sell vegetables. Oh, not doing well. I sell clothes tomorrow. So how do you actually build the time lost? When the time, yes, you face a challenge, things are not getting it right. What do? Find it right. Find where is the problem and improve on that. So when you start seeing some improvement, then you grow your business. From growing, then you have to expand it. Correct. So
Yes.
we don't have so many 10 years, 20 years. Correct me?
Yep.
So you must be determined when the day when you select what field you're in. Don't today sell this, tomorrow you sell that. Oh, I don't know how to find back the time lost that we have, So as of today, I still sell durian. I still believe in it. In fact, I have grown the varieties of durian. I don't only want to do in Malaysia. I may expand it to maybe Indonesia, or maybe I have to go to Vietnam, right? We won't know, but how do we actually grow up the business and expand it, brand it, and make it globally accepting it? And this is what I think we can finish the whole entire chapter of the business. Yeah.
Just a question. Right now, your biggest market to export to is China, I'm guessing?
Well, I would say that we need the risk management. Yes, China is my biggest market. At this moment, after the pandemic, the recovery rate, the fastest is still China. Where we are talking about US and China, they are still, US and Europe, they are still, their rate of the infected patients are getting more each day. But China, they are living without a mask. They have been running and hopping, and they are doing, group social event and stuff like that. So that's why their recovering is pretty fast. So your question is, yes, China is still our market, but I will not put my whole pie into it. Where we still have to serve our US, Canada, Australia, other markets, because if one day anything happen to the maybe it could be China, the policies and things like that change, and then that's it. We can't change the whole entire market to others on an overnight basis. You get me? So to answer to your question, 85% is China market. The remaining, we will be putting in all the Chinatown in Australia, US, Canada. So we will work according to the demand.
Just a question. Is there, maybe a naughty question, is there enough durian to supply to the whole world from Malaysia?
The growth of the durian in the China market is increasing every day. Likewise, the main supplies is from Thailand, right? All these while people are buying it from Thailand. So because of the shelf life of Thai durian can preserve within a month, so what we can do now is we are actually getting it substitute from the Thai durian to Malaysian durian. So we have a lot of opportunity and our what do you call market that awaiting us. So answer to your question, only Malaysian durian only taking about I would say maybe 5% of the whole China markets. There are a lot of room to expand. We have not reached the second tier, third tier market for China. So it definitely be a correct market for us to actually expand more. So there's a lot of space available.
So Anna, do you own your own durian plantations? How does this work for you?
Well, we have our own plantation. We started many years ago for 15 years. So definitely we have our plantation. So what I can say is those days when we have it's small scales like 100 acres below, but for 15 years ago, it's actually quite big, right? But with the scale that we are doing, that kind of scale is not good enough. So we need to actually acquire more plantations and work on it. So to answer to your question, right? We are expanding, we are doing contract farming. Likewise, we are working with collectors. But the most exciting thing is we are planting our own plantations, working with our upstream partners. So we are scaling up. Soon we will make an announcement on how much we will be acquiring on the upstream side. So it's very exciting. It's very interesting and very excited. So let the time comes, we will lay out what kind of scale of plantations that we will be announcing in maybe 1 or 2 months time. So
fingers crossed. I will
yes.
be waiting for news.
Yep. So Malaysia will not face the scarcities of durian, and I always hope to bring down the price of durian so that we can capture not only the export market but also the local market.
Right. Anna, just you started in frozen, or you handle mainly frozen. How has innovation and change within the business actually changed the way you actually run business? Because you export and you are one of the experts in export strategy for Malaysia. How has innovation actually changed the landscape, not just for your own industry, but for export as a total?
Okay. When we started, we only focus on the fruits, right? We only do the fruits as durian. So from there, we make the whole fruit. The Chinese always believe in seeing the whole entire husk. Then they say, oh, that's durian, right? If you help them to dehusk it and put it in a nicer box, they will be very curious and whether is this really a Malaysian durian? How does it look? Whether is it from yeah. The Chinese behavior is that they need to see the husk, it's a real durian. Okay, fair enough. But the younger generations, they will accept the durian in box, okay, because they don't believe to seeing the husk, right? So after seeing the husk, to the young generation is why are we paying more for the husk to bring over? The cost is high. So yes, that's why we capture the other generation, market for this kind of this type of market, and also from there, during we will have a lot of what they call residues. Not all durian are able to be exported, correct? So when they can't be export, the shape or whatever size that we can't we can't send it because we are doing branding. We can't simply send any form of durian to export market. So the shape no good, we will open it to put in a box. And if the durian itself is not so good, we will eventually de-seed it. So those were the transition over the past few years I started. Okay, so from there, we realized that, hey, why don't we do something beyond, right? So we started creating it with mooncakes, ice cream, cream puff, pancakes, you name it, we have it. But we are very, very, very particular in our productions. We believe in natural products. We believe in clean labels, meaning no additive, no additional color, flavors. Because in this generation, we are talking about, everybody is talking about healthy eating. Yeah, with all this disease and all this pandemic hitting, life is short. Everybody is looking for good food. You pay for what you eat, but don't try to eat things where it is not natural. So I believe that people are educating and going for, even the organic market are growing, annually by certain percentage, perhaps it's 5. So that's how we also grow our downstream products. We are very proud with our R&D team that, with all the products that we have created. In fact, we have won a few awards of products that we created, such as our, fried durian balls, when we went for exhibitions and all these things. And the French awarded us, that this particular innovation, food innovations, fried durian balls, Okay, so this is something that, we treasure this kind of innovations because it's value add to what we are doing. So besides selling fruits, we also have another division that we sell all these downstream products so that we have zero waste on our harvest and production. So this is, I think, something that we have done so far compared to all our competitors. Either they are only on the midstream, they only do the fruits, and they can't go down because that requires expansion through team, professional, as well as large investment, right? Some people may have the money to invest, but they do not have the skill or team R&D to create, right? And also they may not have the technical person to actually to fix the automations, right? So all this, what we have come through, those days we have all this product created, we have semi-automations on our production. Well, very proud to announce, if I would host you to my new factory in Puncak Alam, where my full ice creams are all, my gelato ice cream are being produced. They are all automations, fully automated. So we grow, even from, like I told you, ice cream. We used to have a batch machines that we produce. But as of today, I believe in what do you call economical scales for productions. Yeah, so we need to produce things at high volume that can determine the lowest cost, where you can talk to all your suppliers and at the cheaper cost on production. Also, from here, you will defeat all your competitors who are still doing things at the lower volume, right? And the production's output is so low. But comparing all this on the investment that we have put on, believe me, our scales has go up to 6 times. So if you want to compare pricing, my overhead costs are all reduced by doing all this kind of, upgrade and investment. So I would say, yes, we have grown with the kind of output that we are coming out. We can talk to China, I remember this, I want to share with you, many years ago, when I do my exhibition in Hong Kong. I'm sure you all heard about Walmart's. It's one of those hypermarkets in the US. So they came to me, they said, okay, I'm from Walmart. So when you were really very fresh in the market, green in the market at the time, you can see these cars, they're excited. But when they really seriously sit down and they know your capacities and your production rate, they will just stood up and say, that's it, because they know they're wasting time talking to you because your scale of business is not what they want. I remember one time they talked to me, they say, how much you can produce? I say, well, 50 container. They say, a month? I said, no, a year. It was so, they are so mean, and they just said, it's okay. We cannot deal. That time it hit my heart badly by saying, what is wrong with me? 50 containers sounds a lot to me, right? At the time, maybe I can do only 20, but I know their big was like, double it by saying 50. But that is not good enough for them. As of today, we can produce more than 50 containers a month. So this is what I mean, we have outgrown all this, but it's not easy, Sonia. This is all through tears, sweats, and a lot of input from the team to make it this of today. So if people who has come, who started a new business or a new entrepreneurs today, I always, why I want to embark into giving a lot of all these motivation talks and all these things. I really want them to know actually things don't come so easy, but never think that things are hard too, dear. Right?
That's very good advice. Anna, you mentioned about the products that you have out of the byproduct of the fresh fruit, which is mooncakes and pastries and ice creams, gelatos and stuff like that. How about things like coffee? Because there is a particular brand in the market. We were having a chat about it earlier. I think it's Grand Kingdom. And they have captured a particular niche like durian coffee and durian biscuits and durian chocolate. Those things that you are interested in, not interested in exploring, or stuff that people put in their mouth and eat on a daily basis. Is that something that you are looking at?
Well, yes, we are all on the dessert range. Okay, snack wise, well, I would say with my strong will of producing things with natural products, I face some challenge, right? If you ask me about durian coffee and all these things, so I have to be very frank with you, there will be a different way of production. It may not come up from a real durian. Perhaps it will be a substitute and all these things. It's not wrong, yeah, because from young we have, all these cakes that with flavorings and all that. I'm not embarking into that direction, yeah. So they would have that market, yeah, people who still want to eat something with all this. But I would say I want to be the lead of the market. What's the point of following the norm? We need to create the awareness on eating healthy stuff, good stuff. Yes, snack. You hear that snacks, I'm sure, children, my son, no snacks. But if you want durian, I can give you the real durian from, we can do it from a different way by new technology, like they call it fish dries and all this. But it was from a natural durian. Then okay. But if you ask me to take some products and with all these essence and all these flavorings and especially coloring, being a paranoid mother, I would say no. Eat something healthy. If we can afford, I mean, we should educate and mark children with educating them with what is good for them and which is healthy. Yeah, the more they eat on the healthy stuff, then we will have less problems with our health and stuff like that. So well, they are doing their markets. They are focusing that as a bit maybe they're going through the trading businesses and they sell. Yeah, that is actually part of their business nature. But we are different. We are manufacturers, so we have different market segments that we need to take care. So we are pioneer in doing the fruits and desserts on what we are doing. So we deal with B2B customers such as wholesalers, distributors, importers. But we also have certain segments that we reserve, like 30% of our products. We have our own marketplace, such as the internet platform and stuff like that. So we don't do direct to the retail, but we are more to the what do you call the distributor? We call it B2B. Yeah. So yeah, on the bigger scales that we sell things in container loads, that we don't do loose bulk selling. We are only on contracts with 50 containers, 100 containers kind of thing, so that we let them reserve the revenue on the margin for them to do the distributions either in their countries or into their own channel or distributions.
Okay, that's nice because my background, so yes, absolutely. B2B, sending container loads, exports, very different ball game from a B2C business model. Absolutely right. Actually,
I need to add on to this. Yeah. Yes. Before I start the full container, there is definitely a numbers that we are talking about, which is lower than a full container. We do pallets. Yes. Pallet containers before. Okay. Yes. That's how we grow. But when we grow the business, we can't go to that scale anymore because we grow together with our partners or distributors in overseas, right? So when we grow with quantity that, they start distributing, maybe they start with 1-2 pallets. So when they start digesting the 1-2 pallets, so they come back to us for 4 to 6 pallets. So over the years, they can now do 50 containers. So we're still working with them. My buyer, one kind of taboo that I always said, never keep changing your distributor or your partners. You get what I mean? I'm very proud as my first buyer from Australia is still with us today, right? But unfortunately, if those that really no good, they don't have the strength and they don't have a capability, I have no choice, we have to let them go. But those who have strength, we need to grow together, and we never let these partners who someone bigger, which this is not right. You get what I mean? We need to honor and reward them, we grow together. I have all the times that people will come to me halfway and say, oh, why don't you sell to me? I have a bigger distribution and better channel. I say, I'm sorry, this so-and-so has been with me and he believed in me at the initial stage. So if I want to grow, I know this market can absorb this. I will still reserve it back for his team or his company to continue the distribution. So what I'm trying to say is, I've been in this business for the past 16 years. So what I'm talking now, the container lots, is what the scale has actually brought us. But those that who really start small, you must understand, I go through the smaller scales before. So don't give up even with the customer who tell you they want to do 2 cartons, 5 cartons. So you need to think how to actually accumulate and actually send it to them and grow with them, build with them. With this type of business partners, I can assure you, you will grow because they understand your business so well, they know your product so well, they know how to grow. But if halfway through you pass it on to some other bigger distributor, trust me, those people are big. They will not look at your product and they will not grow you. They will put aside because they have multi products to sell. Why they want to focus on your product? And they have no feel, and there's no sentimental. They don't grow with you, right? If your product sells well, they'll continue with you. But your product not selling well, comparing to the rest, they will return back the whole dealership with you. Then you have to start all fresh over again.
I'm so glad that you brought that point up, because I think long-term partners in any distribution network is extremely important. They will help you grow. And I think many companies who are very sustainable have actually groomed long-term partnerships that way. And when you have a shared service distributor, especially when you're small, yeah, I totally get what you mean about no focus, not wanting to go and push the product because there's something else that is more attractive, easier to sell. Totally get you. We're totally aligned on that. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think that's one of the pitfalls that many aspiring people who want to export fall into.
Yep.
So and I'm really glad that you brought that up.
So also, Sonia, that's something that I want to say. To have to my scale today is not overnight. Okay, I also want to share that in order to be success, you can't do it alone. You must have a strong team. That's for sure. And believe me, I also have my own mentor that I look up to. You must have somebody that you think that you want to adore and you want to admire and work towards what he's doing or she is doing. Correct? Or else you'll be on yourself. You do not know what kind of scale that you want to be, who you want to look up to. So for me, there's a few people in mind that I have to think who I want to be. I want to be like her, right? I want to be as strong as her, or I want to be like business mind like him, or this and that. So a dog, it's not wrong. Yeah, you don't need to know him, but just have to study and admire his footstep or her footstep. Then this won't go wrong. These are the success people. So this is how I go through it, because I don't go through any business school. Okay, I don't have luxuries on working on a MNC, nor a proper organization to teach me how to run this business. As I said, I was an airline stewardess when I come down. I was a clerk. I was the coolie. I was the everything. So learn this from scratch. So how do I get to know all these things? Is through learning, looking, and asking. Yeah, I go through a lot of exhibitions and I see, oh, this is actually a very successful company. And this is a very successful lady. I think I want to look up on her, how she do, what she do, I follow. It's not wrong. You don't have to pay fees. So over the years, oh, I'm very proud to tell you, I think I was what she was before. Then from there, I think I'm going to look up somebody buyer. You get me? I used to admire, I go to exhibition when I started my first exhibition, I remember was in Singapore. So I started to admire this lady. Wow, she can close deal right in front of, the same day. It's interesting. And a container load of cookies. So I tell myself, I want to do that one day also. But of course, I have done this now, right? So it's something that you look up to. Or else you won't have any challenge. You'll be like doing of what a non do, and hoping for miracle. Sorry, I don't believe in miracle. If you don't put in your effort, the miracle won't come to your face and you will not get it done. Right? So all these are my past experience that I go through this. I've gone through this. I really, and of today, when I met this lady, she know my existence. And I told her, do you know, once upon a time, you were someone that I was admiring. I want to be like you. Fair enough. Today, I'm sorry. I think, what your skill is. I think you need to learn some way to improve yourself to go into the next level. Because some people, in business, they are very contented, right? So whatever they have done, their packaging have not changed. Their scaling, product scaling is not there. So, they will be defeated by the competitor. Correct? They're not upgrading, the innovation is not there. So we have an open talk, and today we are good friends. And on and off, she do call me and ask me for advice and stuff like that. But we share. So in all business, is something that the effort that you put in, is you will get something very different, and you will unexpectedly found, well, to this level. Oh, actually, I've done quite well in what you are, you are looking up for someone that you think, wow, they've done so well, but actually, you will reach there. Don't worry. If you do put on your effort, somehow your destination is there. As I always tell Sonia, don't worry, there will be upgrade for you.
Anna, I have got like 200 questions on my slip of paper that I've written for you. 200, okay? No, 100 minus 100, 100.
Let's do the question and answer. I think more interesting.
But I have also got a few other questions which are popping into my feed right now. And one of them is about crisis management. In the durian industry, you have certain crises which happen from time to time. And how do you manage the crisis that actually happen in your area or in your field? How do you manage crisis?
Well, of course, simple. Everybody will say, be calm, try to, work on this and see what's the problem. Well, it's quite true, okay? But I'm a woman. I can be emotional also, right? I'm not perfect. So sometimes certain things do comes up, maybe in terms, you got crisis, I don't know, I put it as, let's say, product quality, right? Maybe you can name me what kind of crisis. Well, there's a complaints comes in. As I always tell my team, right? Do understand that we are selling products, but always remember our customer service is must comes in together, and it works together, right? Always be. What I mean is face the complaint and never run away. And yes, we do admit our mistakes, right? But we need to actually rectify it, and we need to convince our customer. Whatever it is, you may feel the pain on compensating. Trust me, it's worth it. We always have to look long term. What is so wrong by compensating of things that you do wrong? You may face a little bit loss, but this particular customer will work long term with you. There will be more better opportunity, right? Rather than you just shut down and say, sorry, this is your problem, it's not mine. So I think you will have a hard time keep finding your new customers.
Mhm.
So
How about crises that are beyond your control? For example,
COVID.
well, we did talk about areas we were going to avoid.
And to tell me what kind of crisis, I mean, there are a lot. So I can't think of. Sorry, Sonia. I know a lot of negative happen, things that have happened, but I always think these are all my stepping stones, my learning pathway. So I can't think of all this negative. What's the point of thinking all the negative thing, and it would make you feel so sorry, and you're not in the mood of working. So all this crisis is past. So I cannot bring back what kind of crisis I can't think of. But I only want to think of all the positive things and things are happy, so that you're more motivated. I better do something more. Why are you mooring things that is in the past? So when you ask me, okay, crisis, oh, things that are beyond my control. Okay, harvest, like just now, heavy rain. I already expecting certain fruiting coming out from my tree, but the weather, the mother nature blow it all off. So what can I do? Face it, right? Either we go to other farms and talk to our competitor, or we go to other farmers to say, hey, why don't you help me some, and I paid more for the crops, but what I have promised I need to do. Well, these are all the things that, when the problem comes to you, you will automatically you will find a way for a solution. As I always believe, everything comes with a cost one. There must be a solution. Worst come to worst, you redo over again. Right? What's the point of shutting it down, mooring, and feel negative and hide and cry? But I did that before, I confess. But I know it's not a solution. So what's the point? Right?
I
Move on.
love that.
Right, Sonia?
I love that spirit.
Okay, that is a scenario I think I like to share. Those days when I start doing durian, I don't have a lot of stuff. I don't have so much of resources, right? When drops, as the fruit drops, they got ripened, they don't give you the alarm, or they don't plan for you. Today I dropped this much, correct? They will just drop as the weather comes. They will just drop as the time where they call it the bumper harvest. So the fruits keep coming in, and my facilities, black out, and there's no sign of recovery. So one trucks to another trucks, the third truck, the fourth truck, all keep queuing up, and you say, "Holy shit, what am I going to do now?" Then nobody is answering to recover your electricities, and you when the stocks comes in, you need to pay cash. So what are you going to do? And this thing all pushing all on me, very inexperienced. When I ran up to my office, go underneath my table and say, the lady boss is not in the office. And I tried to hide, but that is not the solution. The fifth truck came in, and I really broke my tears and I cried. I said, what am I doing? Why am I ended up in this sort of disaster? Can't I just sit and don my uniform and start flying and have my, my shopping life and, my glamour life of serving, just, on board and have my vacation? Why am I doing all this durian at midnight and, day and night and suffer and cry? So that won't take me long. I stood up. I said, that's it. Enough crying. The more I cry, more trucks will be coming. So no point. So what I do is I stood up. I ran down. I just tell them, divert to another place. Start thinking of solution. Start calling up the help, to get some technicians in and here and there. And I learned this. This is my experience that I remember the most. No point mooring, crying. Immediately rectified, you can rescue more of what you can. Than just start, complaining here and there to people who can't help you. Myself, take your time and effort, get a phone and call the correct person to come and assist you. That's the directions on crisis that I face. So this is what I learned. Whatever lah, just come to me. Then and now, of course, I'm a bit more more comfortable where I have my team. I can afford to have my team. So the team itself will eventually come up with a brainstorm program, or we do, start thinking, what is the solutions together. But those days, I was the only one, so no choice. But definitely this is what I've gone through lah. So you ask me about crisis, that what I can think of. The rest I think is part and parcel of business. There's nothing comes smooth every day.
Okay, I've got another. Hi Anna, congratulations. This is from Yasmin Karim. Congratulations on your incredible growth and success. Do you mind sharing how do you support your international in terms of marketing?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you?
Okay, she said, do you mind sharing how do you support your international distributors in terms of marketing?
Okay. Hi, Yasmin. I know her. She's one of my favorite. I won't call student. She's as good. She was one of our group for mentoring. When she's only my mentor, she's good. Okay. Okay, Yasmin, answer to your question. How do I support marketing? Well, I'm sure you know that there is certain budget that you have reserved well before you quote your pricing. For export market, you need to do your marketing in order to get your product sales well, or else how are you going to push for your products? So to support, yes, we for the initial market, okay, that products that are not very new in the market, such as just enter, you don't have awareness and stuff like that, you may look into putting in 40 to 50% of your total sales revenue budget into it. But I know this is tough, for what you earn. Let's say your revenue is 100,000. Would you want to put in 50,000 into your branding, marketing support? A lot of people will be very hesitate. But I say it's worth it. In the long term, as I always say, if a product without a branding is very hard to sell. But once you have hit the branding awareness, this kind of investment, it will return. So don't worry, calculate the kind of investment that I mentioned just now, 40, 50%. Put in all this, maybe you put it into numbers of years, calculate how much is your ROI. Sit down with your importers or international importers, speaks to them, what kind of forecast and what kind of how much of a volume they can digest. From there itself, you calculate. If you think 50% is quite a lot, perhaps I would suggest maybe you have to go to 20. That is the bare minimum you need to. Or else that you put 5-10%, I think it's a waste of time. You know why? You better don't do, because the impact is not there. So first 2 years, 40-50%. Once your product is ready, get the acceptance, and then you can slowly work backwards. Maybe an annual of 20%. So you don't have to put in so much anymore. But once the product is selling well, you just have to work on it. But trust me, when your product starts doing well, your revenue will go up. Once your revenue go up, it pay off. So you just have to be in. This type of marketing things is all about investment. Never think marketing is expenses. Marketing money is an investment. There's a return of investment, the time. So some people will think of, for me, I think the ROI with 3 years is actually fair enough, right? Like you put in all the marketing funding that you can get it back within the 3 years. I think you are doing well, right? So dare to invest, or else you will never start somewhere. You will still have the product sell organically, which I think is very tough. Correct me? How are you going to sell the products organically? People don't even know the taste, don't even know where is it from and all these things. You need to have the product awareness, start giving food sampling, start having some famous KOL, start, singing your products, introduce your products, start eating or whatever you are promoting. That will come, people will start knowing the existence. So that will be the first 2 years is tough, but surely you will get to the point that you wanted to be. So I hope I answered to your question.
Anna, that was a brilliant answer. That's fantastic. With all the people that I actually speak to, I'm a firm believer in marketing. And it pains my heart when people tell me 10% is too much to spend as an expense on marketing. And I go, oh my God.
Yeah, you were from the MNC company before. You know how much they put in.
Absolutely.
Why are they so famous, and why are they so well in the heart of the consumer?
Exactly. And I'm so glad that, as somebody who has made it big in export, you are so, you are sharing this gold nugget, because I believe in marketing and I believe in the power of marketing, and I know it can make a lot of difference. But coming from you, this is like amazing, because not many people, not many entrepreneurs look at marketing as an investment. They think of it as an expense. So really refreshing.
No. And okay, one thing I have to correct. You can spend the money, as I said, it's an investment. Sorry if you invest in the wrong person, or you invest into a wrong agency to give you a wrong direction, then things happen, right? But I've gone through this. I'm sharing. I'm doing my branding aggressively now. Nevertheless, I have gone through certain agencies that cannot bring up what I want. So we must learn to cut our loss fast. Their directions is incorrect. But don't continue paying and paying and paying and getting things. The area is the people. What they want. The consumer, they want to have food testing, but you don't have. But you start giving all these postcards and all this. These are part of marketing, but it doesn't get into the heart of the consumer. So the campaign is wrong. So you must learn to cut. You must learn to actually to monitor the entire marketing campaign, whether does it bring in the awareness, the crowd, or the impact that you want. But you put in so much money, you get a handful of maybe this type of revenue, then I think your strategy is wrong. Your marketing is not wrong. Your funding and your strategy is right. It's just the person that running the campaign is wrong. It's not giving to the correct impact on the thing. So never give up. Don't tell yourself I did it wrong. No. From here you have learned your answer that this type of strategy is wrong. Then I think I have to change my strategy. Yeah. So now maybe I have to direct interactions with my consumer. I give you this buy two free one, that kind of thing. Then the consumer will get what they want. So from the buy two free one, the free one is a new product launching. Why not? Indirectly, you are telling them to buy, but they're upselling your buying too. You get another product awareness. Absolutely. Right? So a lot of way you can play with it. With the market going on, you can come up with a lot of wonderful ideas. Things are not wrong. It's how you package it and how you count your revenue and your ROI. So that is very individual on your product and your market. So we will leave it to individual industry to decide.
I've got one more question before we go back to my original 100 questions.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. This is from Lulu Benny. Just before that, I forgot to give a shout out to the person who asked the question on crisis, and that's from Injit Shamso. So this is from Lulu Benny. Lulu Benny would like to know, Anna, what is your current business strategy in China?
Okay, business strategy. China is a very, I would say, advanced market that none of us here can understand how it should be running. Because what I'm telling you, 3 months ago and 3 months later, the whole market changed. They are very advanced. China is not what we are talking today. So my strategy, okay, I still have to believe in the locals, all right? Despite we are manufacturer here, we can't do everything on ourselves, and we can't know what the consumer in China. I need to know consumer in Canada. I need to know the consumer around the world. So to study the individual market, I actually this year, because of the pandemic also, I actually immediately, by the time when I know I can't travel, I immediately set up a office in Shanghai. Right, that will definitely ease our task of actually meeting our client. So when we set up the market, the office in China, I start deploying my people to meet up all the people in locally. So we came back, we need to go into B2C market where, the online market is so well accepted in China. So why are we still doing offline so much, putting all our effort on offline? The online business is actually consists quite a good market also. So we will have offline and online concurrently. But how much you want to put on online, how much you want to put on offline, it all depends on how strong your distributor is. No point you putting so much effort on your online customers, but they have very handful kind of reach out. Correct? So it all depends. So it also depends on the product. For me, mine is durian. my market is still strong in online, okay? So we will have our own marketplace, such as Teoh or the Alibaba platform. But we still have to resume some of the offline market where they are big enough, and of course my market is premium. So I will focus more on my premium, and no point my selling my how much my durian selling in China? 600 ringgit. No, sorry, 600 RMB, about 300 plus ringgit per piece of durian on a kilo size basis, into a normal what they call the CVS market where nobody is buying. So I'm selling it at the premium supermarkets where I cater for the up and premium market for my consumer. So it depends on products, right? If you're selling something really cheap in a premium stores, it won't sell. So if my product selling in a normal, we call it the sundry shops, I will have problems of selling it. So my strategy is up and premium market, offline, online, any markets, whoever can go into my platform and marketplace to place order, we will deliver it from China, our warehouse, to your doorsteps. So this is my current strategy for my China markets.
And is this different from your other competitors? This is an add-on by Lulu as well. So I'm just reading the question.
Okay. To be very honest, a lot of people want to do offline, but do you know what kind of investment upfront you need to put in? You need to study that. As for us, we need listing fees. We need marketing funding. So despite you want to have it in all supermarkets, but can you afford to put it into all supermarkets with the credit terms that you need to understand whether you have the capability of giving credit to the supermarket, as we all know, 45 days, 60 days. And on top of that, the listing fees. So strategically, we have to see which is worth for us to invest, what kind of supermarket for us to be putting our products there. We need to study and slowly, where we will grow gradually from time to time. Perhaps this year we will have maybe 15 supermarkets that we will allocate certain amount for the listing fees and marketing funding. So next year when we grow, we will have another 30 supermarket store. So we will have that capex investment to put into our so-called listing fees. And I'm telling you, Sonia, these are listing fees. The numbers are not cheap.
Not cheap.
And they add up with the total numbers of the supermarkets they have.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
We cannot be over aggressively putting it all over the place, and you can definitely off focus because your team are not ready to actually to cover such a big scope. So we need to plan. We cannot be too aggressive and starting, I cover the 100 supermarkets. I'm telling you, you won't know which markets suits you, whether the locations, the supermarket or the consumer is the correct one you want to put in. But if you just open it 100 supermarket and paying all the listing fees, I tell you, you will cry yourself. That one you really need to cry, because you know why? You had never planned. You really burn your money unnecessarily without a proper structure and planning. You can try this supermarket with that kind of consumer, maybe 1 or 2 stores first, to see whether the consumer, are they accepting it or not? That's how we grow. We always test. Then, this supermarket, this area, okay, it's good. Then we will grow, with the kind of, kind of strategy that we are moving on. So you need to grow gradually, cannot over aggressive. Yes, China is big, but also you can earn fast, you can make millions or billions overnight, but you can turn out to be, you can be negative overnight as well, because the numbers grows in multiple and the numbers can be deficit in multiples as well.
Okay, that's very good advice, Anna. A lot of people enter new markets without being aware that listing fees in different markets, different kind of supermarkets, different areas vary, and trading terms vary from country to country. It's very, very sound.
Another thing is they love to do consignment. When you do consignments, they'll place numbers as they like, but you need to digest yourself whether can they sell your products within the stipulated time or not. They can give you a good, the kind of numbers that you adore and you dream of, but can they sell or not? You ask and you need to negotiate back to them. You want 100 containers? Hey, how do you do it? Tell me. Because it's on consignment, right? If it's on outright, I don't care how you do it. But also you need to consider, because if they buy outright from you, if they can't sell it, they just dump in the supermarket and sell it at 1/3 of the original price, your product is dead. You can never go back to the market anymore. You know why? Because that particular importer who actually buy outright from you. They just want to get rid of their stocks, even as little as much of what they invested, maybe 1/3 of what they have bought. They just want back some cash. So your product will be considered selling at the last price, which is maybe 1/3 of your actual price. So how are you going to build back the next year when the next distributor come in? They say, why are you selling me this price where the clearance stock is selling at $1, when now you want to sell me at $2? So how are you going to build back? The consumer already knew this product is selling at $1. How are you going to put back the original price? But these are the things you must learn to say no. Even people are giving you a big order, you need to digest whether this is the correct buyer to help you to sell your product or not. Yeah. So if it's a big amount they bring in, they clear stocks, it's a big impact to you. But if it's a handful or 1-2 pallet, it's not visible. You still can rescue by coming back, because you can't stop your importer to sell at what price at the end of the day, because they're buying outright, any price that they want, because they really want to break the relationship. So if they have 3 containers, I'm telling you, everywhere they go, they will put in at 1/3 of the price. You want to come back and build the market again, your next distributor will have a hard time, where the price will not be readjusted back as what your ideal price you want to be. Right? That's what I think.
Okay. I think we're coming to the end of the session. So maybe just before two more questions, I think. Before we say goodnight, we're going to extend a little bit, I think.
Okay.
What do you call this? You actually 2-in-1, yeah? I'll try to make it 2-in-1.
All right.
You are also a very big role model, and you tend to help a lot of people by coaching them and mentoring them. And you do reach out to certain groups of people to offer this. What would your now, how do you manage that, number one, in terms of your time and your schedule? And number two, what advice and recommendation do you have for all the people out there who want to venture into the industry and then to subsequently take this into export? What would your words of wisdom be to them?
Well, it's a long question, but I try to answer. Anyway, I won't say coaching, okay? Sonia, I'm just sharing, right? I think I have no ground to say I'm coaching. At the end of the day, I'm just sharing my experience, and based on what my feel, how they can grow, especially because I've gone through this. I'm very happy to share whatever that I can, and of course to guide them, because the steps, the first step to export is actually very tough. You know what I mean? So if I can, I don't mind sharing and guide them through and hold their hands and let them reach out. And when they can reach out these first steps, on the second step, third step, it will be much easier. So if I think I can do this, I think I'm quite okay to guide and to share and to give back to the society by my way, right? So if you think that I can help you, I'm always open the door to actually to welcome, to myself, and to give up certain sharing and throwing me the question also. I don't mind how you want to deal with this export and stuff like that. I'll give them option A, B, C. That's what I've been doing. To answer to your question, time, I always have no time. Okay, I have no time, but I need to, if I really want to do something, if I really want to contribute back, where maybe my 10 minutes can change someone's life, can change their perceptions of doing business, why not? Maybe the 10 minutes can actually give them the enlightenment on, wow, this is supposed to be done. For them, they may not thought of that, but to me, this is my past. I've done this experience. Now, why don't you do this? The 10 minutes, it worth. So sometimes I see certain people who have successful, have done the business. I'm happy, because you know why? Life is not about, for me, business. Yes, I'm happy to do business. Not totally, but of course a little bit. Is the reward from money, but it's actually the what do you call, what I get at the end is actually I feel the excitement, the fulfillment of what I've done. All this play a part that why I want to go this far. The challenge that I put on myself, So I'm willing to share, because I fall badly before and I feel the pain, but I don't have anyone there to guide me. That I have to take extra mile to reach out what I'm doing. But if I can actually give them that kind of lift, It won't cost me a lot of money. But definitely it's a good lesson for them to actually to embark to a different, atmosphere of doing business, just not locally. Because once you will reach out the export, I tell you, the numbers will grow very fast. If you want to do local, you will just deal with all these, very petite or very small bulk of orders and stuff like that. But if you have found a correct buyer from a different world, or I mean, what I mean is different country, it will multiple 1.3 billion population in China. You just have to get 1%. I'm telling you, you will definitely change. You will tend to go out for expansions and stuff like that. So your last question, what was that?
How, any words of advice? But I got one more question that I have to ask.
Words of advice.
Yeah, words of advice. Number one, that's question one. Number two is your export strategy during COVID, because we haven't really talked about.
Okay, that is actually very important. Yeah, I think a lot of people also facing it, and I'm actually facing the same problem. Words of advice. I think over my conversation for the past hours, I think if you already hear what I always say: be positive, never link to all the negative, and and never give up, and there's nothing to lose to do all this trial and error, and never think of, always think of, never think of all this, what am I going to happen to me if I fail this and that. What's so big deal, if especially when you're young, right? Always challenge it. What's so wrong? Nothing. Worst come to worst is just get a feedback. Sorry, I don't want to buy your products. Or things may but I'm not asking you to blindly invest into certain expansion. You must be ready, what you want to do. Correct? So be brave, yeah, and open mind, and always think the positive side of it, and always dream high. It's not wrong. Dream high. But once you achieve the dream that you dream high, I'm telling you, you are feeling you are above the world. But I have not reached my dream high yet. But at least I know I'm on my correct direction. See, if the entrepreneurs are doing the same, learn to dream high. It's not wrong. If you don't reach that 100 million, you reach 10 million, are also part of something that you achieve. But you don't dream, you have no dream, you have nothing. Okay, so many things, of course, I can share, but this is what I can think of. COVID, I hear this, I'm very upset because he has been locking me down for so long. But this is something that nobody is prepared, right? A lot of things happen. Okay, but I'm happy that this COVID does give me a precious time with my children, especially, right? And I have more time with them. But this put aside, business affected for sure, despite things has been orders resumed back on the second quarter of my year this year. But when it is in March, my durian is almost dropping, and I do not know where to sell my durian. Where lockdown, I can't even reach my factory. Consumer, I mean my customer in China is not sending me any orders. It was total blackout. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anywhere, nobody call you. It was so silent. So and I can't go to my farm as well to see my crops and all these things. But we managed to get our permit to actually to get to our farm, with a special permit and all these things. Then I start realize I can't wait. The durian has to go somewhere. The durian has to reach out to the consumer. I have to sell this. This is all what we have to do. So what I did is concurrently, same time, we set up our Malaysia online platform. We talk to Lazada, Shopee, and our own platform. We start, getting our customer to buy. It's not big comparing to my export business, but at least within a month we can sell 120,000 sales. That is good enough, from ground zero, that we have not done this local sales. And my team is actually from my export team and from my warehouse. I start dragging 1 or 2 people to start make this move. So amazingly, I think I should be contented and happy from ground zero within about 3 weeks or 4. So this COVID does make changes, but I would say this will be in our life. We cannot expect things back to normal. So if you are a responsible, or you are a a consumer that will take challenge, I would say don't stay things go back to normal. Just have to make some changes and accept it as part of our life and do some innovations and to make changes with this COVID in our life. Okay, and I share with you our orders actually resume back as I've mentioned in the second quarters, but there's a lot of impose of tests over our products in China. Yeah, slowing down on the customs clearance. Cargo plane has been reduced because not much of aviations are active, in transporting our cargo. The ship liners is cutting up their routes, and because of the work has been even Italy is shutting down, and a lot of places they are doing their lockdown. So things have been clearing very slowly. But what do? You try to find other alternatives to move on, create more markets, or do some other things to make things more effective. Just like I mentioned, because of the lockdown, I can't get into China. I can't meet my client. So I know I can't wait until the day where the door is open and the government said, yes, you can go to China. Maybe it's 2 years later. So immediately I call my team, and I call my one of my friends who is actually reside in China to say, can you help me and set up this company? Immediately help me to recruit. I start doing virtual recruiting. I start hiring my sales, my marketing people, all through virtual like this. So they are coming on board. So I already built my team. So within 1 or 2 months time, I have my team. So now it looks like my local team in Malaysia doesn't need to fly to China anymore. So when the door is open, I'm going to China, but I'm going on holiday. Because why? I already have my team. I'm not going there to stress myself to meet my client anymore. And trust me, just because of this COVID, only I have the urge to actually find a solution to start a Shanghai company, at that time. When I can travel, I don't even have the thoughts of actually shopping. No need lah. Why want to start a company in China? It's so expensive. And where do I find people? Recruitment now, where to find and all these things. These things are not putting it as a first priority. But because of this COVID, I hire the right person. Why? I hire the locals to run the sales. Why am I not thought of that earlier? Why am I still using my local teams to, make calls and travel to meet them? Where our sales actually double now, the reach out to our customers is better now because they are locals. They can go down to the point to actually to talk to the so-called the what they call the purchaser or the buyer, and they are locals. They speak their own language. Whereas we are foreigner, we will take times, after so-called China is entertainment, then only it comes to business. Yeah, I will leave them to do the entertainment as much as they want, but they will get me the sales. Because our time flying to China is very limited, as in like if I fly in 5 days, right? So we will have very limited time to actually to get our deal done. So my China team, they can do what they want and the timing, or they want to meet up the client, or at their own arrangement and such. So I would say that, that COVID is in it ready. Don't hope things will be resumed back in a very short time. Even the resume on the short time, it may not be the same anymore. So be with it, live with it, work better out of here. That's what I can say, right? And this is from God. The vaccine, I don't know when it's coming to Malaysia. So I will still see that, we won't get out of Malaysia in another 6 months' time. So how do you run your business? You still need to believe in your team in China and grow with it. Or certain people who just started the business, they may not know how to do it anytime, have chance that we can share. Or those people who doesn't want to invest into it, maybe you can talk to someone who already has a China counterpart to let them value add another products into their platform. There's no harm, right? And then you can share your costs by doing that. You know what I mean? A few of y'all, the entrepreneurs that they have few products, but they cannot afford to have a China office. Why don't you combine, your team, sales team in China, share up the cost, then you will reach out your consumer, or your buyer or whatever you want in China by itself, so that the cost is justified and you don't feel the pain. That's how I think it should be, right? So nothing comes better than face-to-face meeting. The sales and orders are all comes, still need to feel and touch, and the relationship is built from there. But of course, I know you, Sonia, before, so I can be very natural. I mean, I have to say today, out of so many live virtual conversations, I would call it the, you know, these are the one that I've done very natural, because you know what, I know you before. But some that, you know, they called me, I don't know where they are from, and suddenly they become my mentor. I mean, sorry, my moderator. I was like, okay, yeah, you asked. It won't be as natural as that. So this is the real me today. The normal day where I'm doing, I'm very formal. But today I'm kind of relaxed, because the relationship is there. You know, when you ask me, I'm not conserving. I'm giving you everything today.
Thank you so much, Anna. It means so much. Okay, I think we have stolen you for over an hour.
No problem.
We've stolen your family time, actually, I think.
My son actually went up. I think you guys saw. The son said, oh, mom is busy, then he go down. But it's okay, you know. This is the time of everybody actually needed help and needed guidance or needed advice. So with this, I do not know how much I can share here, but I would say life goes on. We need to accept certain things and don't make it like business is something that, you know, is so stressful. You can enjoy it if you know how to run it, and take it easy. You know, you don't need to get one time goal that you get your success. Uh, Enjoy it along the journey and find the correct partners and get the correct way to do it. I believe, you know, you will enjoy every single day. As I always, I don't know whether I share this with you, I'm very happy to wake up early in the morning. They ask me why. No, I'm not doing exercise. I wake up, I want to check my email. I want to know what's coming, what is the next thing happening. You know why? You love that because it's something, not because my company is making money. It's just that you want to know what other things, what is the next thing you need to do, the challenge. You take the challenge as part of like, you, I want to challenge it. I want to get it, or I want to get it, you know, done. You know, I don't want my team to wait for me. Before they wake up, I get all these things done for them, then they will execute it. Right? So you can say that I'm abnormal, but I enjoy it that way. You know what I mean? I don't want my team to wait for me, but get it done and send it them all the things that they need to get it done. And the day when that time ends, we can end our day early, and actually we are quite happy, you know. And another thing, I think we need to one more thing, the last thing, okay. I just give you another few more tips, you know, to run a business with this kind of organization. How I grow, right? I started very small, from 2 staff to today I think we are about nearly to 200 staff. Always be an understanding boss, or I would say a leader. Always listen, and never think that they are, you know, they are here to actually to get your salary. What we need is, we need them more than, you know, they needed us. You have the correct team, correct mindset, correct directions, they can take you to the next, a better level of what you need to achieve. But if you have a team and you always, you know, blame, and you always, you know, not appreciating them, it will never make your business success, because they don't trust you, they don't believe in you, they don't give you their best, you know, and you are not understanding. You won't give them what they are supposed, you don't reward them what they're supposed to get. So believe in your team, be close with them, understand their problem, but don't throw them the task where you can't even do. Right, Sonia?
Absolutely.
Bring me 1 million sales where you can't even do 1 million sales yourself. Right? Yeah. So be a good team leader and bring up the entire team up together, enjoy it together. When you fail, when you have problems, face it together. I think that will itself will give you a strong team, and this strong team will lead you to a very far journey, and definitely they will get you what in reward together with them. Right, Sonia?
Absolutely, Anna. I think that today, tonight, you have inspired so many people watching. My phone, and I'm getting messages going ping, ping, ping all the way. And this is one I cannot ignore. I know that you have inspired so many people in such a positive way tonight. And I really thank you for sharing so openly everything that you've shared with us, because I think as a role model, as a lady, that somebody that all of us can look up to. I think you have, you are the star. You are one of the people that I want to follow as a role model. But I have a question here that I need to ask, which is, how can people reach out to you should they want to? However, I'm not going to put you in a spot. I think for the people watching tonight, Anna, with your permission, I think they can channel the questions to Anna directly to email at info@gen-my.com and CC to Dr. Zolikwan at Gen for those questions to be forwarded to Anna if she can help. Otherwise, Anna, I'm afraid that you will have 999,900 emails in your inbox tomorrow. So are you okay with that?
I try my best. I mean, that if you really questions, I think if it really helps them, I will try my best to answer. So I don't mind. As I said, if I can have another session with you, Sonia, I will do that again, because there are more things, we can chat. This is why I make it a very, very casual way of answering to your questions and to the questions from the ground. But anyway, I will try. Yeah, I will try, as I promised that I'll do it. I will work with Dr. Zol, and maybe we can see what other things that we can organize something if they are really keen. When the time permits, we don't do virtual. We have a group. If we can ask Dr. Zol to organize, and we have a session to feel it together, and yeah, I don't mind holding their hands, because I think the little leaf is, I always believe I can change the thing for them. I'm willing to hold their hands.
Thank you so much, Anna. I will be definitely there, because we had this conversation and I'm completely inspired.
Yeah, well, I mean, you join me, okay? You are part of the team, You don't put it all on me. Where, yeah, we need to do it together, okay? Sonia, this is a good thing to do together, and we treasure it. After that, we make them buy us a cup of coffee at the end, okay? Nothing comes free.
Okay. And right. I'm going to end this session. Maybe we'll just stay on a little while. Okay. I'm just going to end the session now. So officially, thank you so much from Gen Malaysia for participating in Global Entrepreneurship Week. It's part of a much larger forum, as you know. It's a global forum. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for inspiring so many entrepreneurs today to take the steps into export, and for giving up some of your time to be with us and to inspire each and every one of us to do better. Thank you so much, Anna.
It's definitely my pleasure, and thank you, Dr. Zol, for this invitation. Yeah, it definitely, all these advices that I share is just on my personal view and my own, my own experience. So I hope I can see you guys again, and stay safe. We fight the COVID and we want to get out, okay? Yes. I see you guys then. Cheers.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Bye.